Hello, hello. We are back. This is Take Your Medicine. Hi, Billy. Say hello. Welcome to Take Your Medicine. I'm Billy. I'm your host, and I'm a funny little lady. Her birthday is coming up on February 10th. She's going to be 5 years old, huh, Billy? 5 years old, and she's still digging in the yard. I don't know how to fix that, but we love her anyway. She has done all kinds of damage on our baseboards when she was a puppy. She chewed them up. That was my first time really even having a puppy, and she was a lot, but she's the cutest, sweetest, and she came into our life right before my ginormous awakening began. Our precious older senior hospice kind of situation, our sweet dog Cody passed right before the same shelter received a litter of Airedale Terrier puppies, and we had asked the animal shelter if they would keep an eye out for puppies because we had been holding space for this very old senior dog who couldn't walk, and he had so many special needs. So we thought it would be great if we could rescue a puppy. And there goes Billy into our lives, bringing so much joy. And so we got her in May, and then in June is when the ceremony of the trees happened. And just recently, this last June, actually, on the anniversary of it, they told me it's actually called the celebration of the trees, not the ceremony of the trees. I always call it the ceremony of the trees. So trying to call it by its real name because they said it was a celebration. So today is episode 64. Where's our marker? I need to get organized in here, don't I, Bennett? Are you front and center today? I guess the camera can't see you. Oh, dang it. Let's see if we can find, okay, that one's bad too, Billy. Throw that one out. Throw that one out. I feel like I had another marker in here, but, oh, there it is. Lots of random stuff on the floor. I need to just get organized because as within, so without. I always feel more at peace when things are organized around me. So episode 64, crossing off the list. We're really doing it, really doing it. Billy, Billy, we're really doing it. Five? High five! I wanted to mention just briefly, I've had a lot of thoughts lately with the current events taking place in this hurting world, our hurting country. There's so much happening politically. There's so much happening in the world that is unfair. There are groups of people who are being marginalized, rejected, abandoned. There is great suffering happening. And I wanted to just briefly mention that I am very aware of the suffering in the world as I come onto this show and try and be a bright light and spread love and joy and positivity. I don't like to bring politics into the show. I don't like to bring my worldviews or those polarizing things, not because I don't want people to disagree with me, but because I want to keep the vibration high here, because it's so important that as we move in this hurting world, that we show up in our highest vibration. If we get attached to the suffering, we get dragged down by it. And if we get dragged down by it, we are not helpful for it. And so I want to be a safe space where we can come together and talk about high vibration things and share the magic that is all around us. Because even when it looks really, really ugly out there, I believe that we as a human species are on a path toward ascension and evolution, and that we as a human collective have to go through our own dark night of the soul, our own spiritual awakening. And that can be messy and it can be ugly. And we might have to hit a bit of a rock bottom, which, we are really, really toying with right now as a human collective. And there are angel beings and orbs and ships, and they are starting to make their way and make themselves known. And they are doing it quietly and gently and slowly because they are wise and they understand that we need to have these things fed to us slowly so that we can acclimate. Our brains are wired to see what we see. We are only seeing what our brains are wired to see. It's very interesting that we have to create new neural pathways and expand the bandwidth of information that our brains can perceive. And we can do that through meditation, through medicine work. We can literally expand our consciousness and see more of the visible light, or more of the light spectrum will become visible for us. And, I believe, and here we go, that Earth is a bandwidth, a frequency. People say, is the Earth round? Is the Earth flat? And I say, I don't know, but probably kind of neither, because Earth and the planets and all of this reality are not what we think it is. And more than anything, it is a bandwidth of electromagnetic frequency and information. And so the more we widen that bandwidth, the more we can experience of other dimensions, because we are multi-dimensional beings having a multi-dimensional experience. And this is just one aspect of our being. And we can wake up and open our eyes to the magic and the synchronicity all around us. Yesterday was 2/2, February 2nd. That was the 16th month anniversary of our precious Thomas's transition to the other side. 16 months. It's so hard to believe, but we sure are so grateful for all of the ways that Thomas shows up and shows us that he is still with us all weekend. He was showing us that he was still with us. We had front row parking everywhere we went. We went to my daughter's boyfriend's car show, and we saw so many Miatas there, which is what Thomas drove when he was here. And when we left the car show, we saw 3 Miatas in a row. The first one was green, just like Thomas's. And we pulled up to Jamba Juice. And right next to Jamba Juice was a restaurant called Tom Yum. It was just amazing, all of the synchronicities. So many license plates with 777 or 111 or 555, which are my numbers and Thomas's numbers and Jesus Kate's numbers. Thomas, we always think of with 777. So it was just a weekend full of magic and synchronicity. I was getting gas on Saturday, and first of all, at that car show, Anna was asking me, as we walked around looking at all the cars, she was asking me what Y2K was and about what it was like when 1999 was about to turn to 2000. So I was telling her about being in high school in Germany and how everyone thought all of the computers, the banking systems, the educational systems, all of our grid was going to go down when the millennium changed. And so I'm getting gas just about an hour later, and I see a penny right in front of my door. As I open my door, it's just shining. And I think in my head, find a penny, pick it up all day long, you'll have good luck. And I felt lazy, and I was like, I don't want to pick it up. And then it just really was calling to me. And so I picked it up, and there it was, 1999, just as I had been telling Anna about Y2K. And shortly after that, at about 2:30 that afternoon, so very shortly after that, we were at my son's soccer game. And of course, he scored 2 goals, because 2/2 was a very special day this weekend. We were so proud of him, and Anna and Jonah came to support him. And Jonah walks up and sits next to me and he says, Mom, look at this new hoodie I just got at the mall yesterday. And right there in big bold letters was 999. And I had seen 999 license plates too. It was so amazing. And then that very night, we took our son Brighton and his girlfriend Diane out to dinner for his birthday. He just turned 20. We went to Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers, his favorite spot. And Brighton's number, the number I always think about for Brighton, is 999. So my gosh, the numbers just help me so much to feel supported and like we're on the right path. And they bring me so much joy because they're reminders that our guides are with us, that we are not alone, that we are held and supported. And it's just a joyful existence to really tune in to that level of magic. Yesterday, Jesus Kate 2-2 is actually a really special day for Jesus Kate and I. February 2nd of 2021 is the day that Jesus Kate told me her name. And I kept hearing cheesecake, Jesus Kate, Jesus Kate. And I thought she was saying cheesecake. And I wrote that in my journal that day. I thought she was saying cheesecake. But finally, I heard very clear, Jesus Kate. And ever since then, I have heard that word a million times. Sometimes when she takes over my brain and body, all I can say is Jesus Kate 100 times because she's doing procedures. She's got my body and brain occupied with whatever she's working on. And I can just say, Jesus Kate, Jesus Kate, Jesus Kate, Jesus Kate. It's so interesting and so special. And yesterday, Jesus Kate is obsessed with AJ. And yesterday, as he was walking into the casino to spend his free $100 in free credit, which is now our weekly tradition, he saw a license plate that said AJC 5555. And fives are Jesus Kate's numbers. So we saw 555 when I was talking about Jesus Kate on the freeway on the way to, I believe, Anthony or the car show on Saturday. She always shows up with the numbers. And yesterday, my mileage, the end numbers were 777 when I got home. So many magical things happening in this world. And when we tune in, it's really fucking fun. What else? Yesterday night, I was journaling about all of these Thomas synchronicities, which I can't even list them all. There were so many. And as I'm typing out in my journal and Google Docs about all of these beautiful Thomas synchronicities, Jonah and Anna send me a picture. I send all of the parents a picture from Topgolf, and it's Jonah's score, and it's 77.7. He just shows us again and again that he is with us. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Thomas. And as AJ and I were watching the Grammys last night, I was so touched by so many of the speeches. Alicia Keys' speech, Shakira's speech, they touched me so deeply. I highly recommend going and watching those powerful women's speeches. Alicia Keys has always been one of my very favorites and Anna's very favorites. And she and I got to go and see Alicia Keys live in concert. And we were in like the second row for a little while. We snuck up and stole some seats in the second row until we got kicked out. And it was so awesome. We have a tradition of getting concert tickets and then waiting till it starts and seeing if we can get closer to the front. And we got front row at Billie Eilish, and Phineas waved to us. So that was really fun. And we yesterday, we ran a lot of errands yesterday, and we went to this tropical fish store because we heard that it might have an octopus in it. And me and Anna absolutely love octopi. And of course, Jesus Kate has an octopus aspect to her, but she's not just an octopus. She's like got a million eyes and very many energy centers. She's very complex, but she has octopus energy for sure. So anyway, I didn't even realize that we're at this pet store searching for an octopus on Jesus Kate's special day. I didn't realize that until later, but when we were at that tropical fish store, I was pointing out the coral reef to Anna, and I told her about how I got to channel a coral reef once. And I was so grateful for this experience, because a lot of times when a being takes over my body, at least in the beginning, in these first few years, my brain, it was so much on my brain that I couldn't remember it all. And so this coral reef came into my body so sweet and gentle. And I was able to remember every aspect of being a coral reef. I started to get so excited when I even think about it. It was so magical and so cool. I literally just got a glimpse of Ebert as I'm talking about this, which is so cool because yesterday, hi Ebert, I love you. Yesterday, I saw with Ebert another being that I have seen many times before, but I've never known what it is. This being has much more of like this rounded, bigger, bulbous, horizontal shape, very flowy and beautiful. And this being, I hadn't seen it in a while, and it was with Ebert yesterday. And then yesterday, as we were watching the Grammys, Cynthia Erivo's dress, she was giving this beautiful speech, another one that I highly recommend looking up. She's giving this amazing speech, and Jesus Kate comes through Cynthia Erivo's dress, and I start channeling Jesus Kate, and I'm like, whoa! And she just brought all of this enthusiasm and joy for fashion. Jesus Kate can shapeshift her. It's hard to explain, but it's not just even shapeshifting. It's like an octopus that she changes her pattern constantly, and it is so beautiful. And she loves to change. It's like changing a dress over and over again, and she loves to show off all of her different patterns, stripes, polka dots, the most beautiful, magical patterns you could ever imagine. And as a little girl, I was obsessed with ball gowns and dresses. I still am. I love high fashion, couture. Paris Fashion Week is like my TikTok algorithm. I love it. And I want to someday hire a fashion designer that will use all sustainable, reused fabrics, because that is such a passion of mine, is to do fashion but sustainably. But anyway, Jesus Kate comes through the dress of Cynthia Erivo, and she lets me know that that being that was with Ebert was the coral reef. And then she reminds me that we were searching for an octopus, and literally explaining that I channeled a coral reef and looking at coral reef today, and I got to see her as a spiritual being. And now I know that that one is my friend, the coral. And so what a beautiful blessing. That night, I channeled many different kinds of beings. That was a night that I even met a ship that can transform itself into almost like literally like a transformer robot kind of being. I would call it a transformer, a seahorse, an anaconda. I got to experience this, what I call the great owl chief, in a temple full of feathers, and he left a feather in my hair that night. That feather I still have. I have experienced so many beautiful things, and I am so, so grateful. I am so grateful to have a deep understanding of what it is like to be a nature being, to feel what it feels like to be a tree, to feel what it feels like to be a snake and a scorpion. I've channeled so many cool beings, and I'm so, 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 so grateful. And maybe that's not what it always feels like, but that's their essence coming through me, each so unique and individual and special, and literally healing. All of their energy is medicine, and different kinds of medicine based on their uniqueness. So I am talking so much. I was so excited to have these experiences, and to feel Thomas close, and to feel Jesus Kate close, and to know that we are truly supported and held as a family. Anna and Jonah support each other so beautifully. All of my children do. But yesterday, as they took each other to Top Golf, and in our parents chat with them, it's like a group text with Anna, Jonah, and the four parents. You know, they express their love and admiration for each other. They help each other get to the gym every day. I'm just so proud of all of my children, and for my entire family. I am so grateful for them and so proud of them. Thomas continues to guide our life, to show us what's up, to show us what's important, to help us be kind, compassionate, loving toward one another and to everyone else. I watched a video yesterday of Thomas slow dancing with our sweet Billy. Maybe I should add that to this video today. We'll see if I have time to edit it in. Or maybe I'll just put it on Instagram so you can go find it on Instagram, because it is one of my very favorite videos of Thomas and Billy. Thomas has a very special relationship with Billy and with Bennett, and I'm so grateful that he continues to show up for all of us. All right, well, I think that's about all that I'm going to share today. I actually have an appointment with a healer today that I met recently at the Spaces 111 open house. It was a really spectacular event where I got to meet some new people, and she does muscle testing, healing work. And I don't know anything about it, but I will return and tell you all about my experience. She has done over 8,000 sessions, and I met her at the park the other day, last Saturday or the Saturday before, and we just walked and walked and walked and talked and got to know each other, and she told me a little bit about her work and her experiences, and I told her about mine. I just love making new friends that are badass women kicking ass at their own passion. She is so brave. She's been a foster mom to tons of kids, just a powerhouse woman. So I'm very honored and grateful to get to receive her gifts today. And I will let you know how it goes. Thank you all for being here. I love you. I love Thomas. I love Jesus Kate. I love Ebert. I love the Coral Reef and all the galactic collectives and angel beings and dragon friends and all of the beings that I have been able to connect with. I thank you. I honor you. I love you. Tomorrow, I will be facilitating the most important session I have ever facilitated for anyone. It is a miraculous thing that these sessions are even happening. I am so deeply grateful for the power of this work, that there is light at the end of the darkness, and that we can truly heal ourselves, free ourselves, and live a joyful, happy life no matter what is going on in the world. We can show up happy and healthy and the most helpful version of ourselves. And I hope that you'll take some time today to do something kind for yourself. Look in the mirror, smile, say, you are awesome, you are brave, good job making it to this day. Put your feet in the earth, ground yourself, connect with a tree, hold that tree, put your forehead on the tree, say, I love you, thank you, thank you. There's so many beautiful ways to raise our vibration. And I highly, highly recommend taking some time to really practice stillness and presence and breathing. Breathe into your belly and give gratitude for the precious ones around us, for our plant friends, for our pets, for everything that we have and get to experience in this life. Thank you all for being here. I love you, and namaste.